What's good, everybody? My name is Cole, and welcome back to Cole Sports. And today we're going over my oh shoot, hold on, got a little thing there. But we're going over my my NBA predictions for the 2021 NBA season. Yesterday, I did my Wizards prediction. As you can see, I'm a Wizards fan. But let's go over the NBA. That's to who's gonna win the finals, Rookie of the Year, all the way to Coach of the Year. So let's go ahead and get started with my Western Conference seeding. First, LA Lakers. I just don't think, I think they're gonna be the top team this year, and they can be really good. Obviously, getting better somehow with Montrezl Harrell and Dennis Schroeder. Next, the LA Clippers. I still think they'll be pretty good. I think once they're now getting some connection and some chemistry going, they're getting back. What's his name? They're getting back. Not they're getting back, but they're getting Serge Ibaka. They got Luke Kennard, which I really like. I really like him. I just think pieces. I think they got better. But I still think they'll be able to hold on to that number 2 seed. Next, the Denver Nuggets, a team that shocked everybody in the playoffs last year. They went to the Western Conference Final. They upset the Clippers, and they could have upset the Lakers too. I feel like there's a chance there, but I think they'll be number 3. I think they'll play pretty well this year, and I think they'll have a really good game, really good season with Jamal Murray. I think whatever he did in the playoffs, I think he'll be able to step it up in the regular season. I think he'll have a pretty good regular season. Got him in the fantasy league too, so I'm hoping. Next, and then you also have Rudy Gobert. They locked him up. They locked both of them up for a long time. So I really like what they're doing over there. I think they'll be the number 3 seed. Now, 4. This may be a little bit of a surprise, I'm not too sure, but it's the Portland Trail Blazers can stay healthy this year. I think they can be a 4 seed. I mean, if Damian Lillard, CJ McCollum, if they all work out, they got lots of players. Didn't they get Robert Covington? I'm pretty sure it's Robert Covington. They got a lot of good pieces that I really like for Portland, and as long as they stay healthy, I think they'll be a number 4 seed in the West. Next, the Dallas Mavericks. They have in my opinion, possibly an MVP in Luka Doncic, Kristaps Porzingis. I do have them a little bit lower because they're, their first half of the season's pretty hard, and they're not gonna have Kristaps for maybe I think like a month or two, maybe like a month and a half. So we'll see what they do what they do there. They got Josh Richardson from the Steph Curry trade. I really like him. He's gonna bring in a lot of good defense, and their draft players like Josh Green and Tyrell Terry. I really like the draft picks, and I think they'll be pretty good this year. Now in the 6, Houston Rockets. Now this is if Harden stays with the Houston Rockets. He's missing out on a pretty good team. You're getting John Wall, you're getting Boogie, you're getting Christian Wood. I mean, John Wall's looked great this preseason, and again it is preseason, but I think he'll be able to carry that on. And then you're getting Boogie, again it's preseason, but he still is looking pretty good. And you're getting, in my opinion, one of the possibly a most improved player this year, and Christian Wood. I feel like he's so underrated. He could be pretty good this year. I just feel like there's so much talent there that James Harden is missing out on, is if he does go ahead and once traded out, and if he does get traded out. But again, honestly, maybe if they trade him to the 76ers, they get Ben Simmons. I still have him there at number 6. And then maybe what they do with the Heat, maybe they get, probably some young assets. And I think they're pretty proud there. I think they may miss out, or they could come in 8-7. But I think the Houston Rockets are going to be number 6. Next, the Utah Jazz. They're pretty solid last year. They getting Donovan Mitchell, getting Rudy Gobert. Nuggets. They didn't lock up both their guys for a long time. I'm thinking about the Jazz. Not the Nuggets. But the Jazz locked up their 2 stars for a long time, getting Donovan Mitchell paid and also Rudy Gobert paid. They re-signed Jordan Clarkson, which I really like. I think will be pretty solid this year. I think they'll be actually a pretty solid team this year, and I think they'll become number 7. Next, the Phoenix Suns. I mean, they did a lot of things here in the offseason. Obviously, the big move in Chris Paul. And then you're going to have Devin Booker, Chris Paul, DeAndre Ayton, and you got Jay Crowder. I really like that signing. And who drove draft? You drafted Jalen Smith. That's not too bad, but I think they'll be a good team, and I think the Phoenix Suns will make the playoffs. And I kind of have the Warriors missing out on the playoffs, even with Steph Curry, Klay Thompson. They'll probably be a higher seed, but we'll see how that team measures. But they're the honorable mention in the West. What's another honorable mention I could say in the West? I don't know right now. I think it's really only the Warriors right there. So, next, Eastern Conference seeding. I think number 1's going to be the Milwaukee Bucks. They got better this year. They got Drew Holiday. I really like that move. They almost got, what's his name? Flipping, Bogdanovich. If they could have got them, they're looking good. But I still think they're looking good. I still think they got a lot better. And I think this is going to be a good season for Milwaukee, and I still think they'll stay that number 1 seed. Next, the Brooklyn Nets. They have a good roster. KD, Kyrie, if everybody can stay healthy. They got a good bench, too. And I think they'll be the number 2 seed if everybody stays healthy, and they're looking good as they did a year or two ago. Next, the Boston Celtics. I think they'll be a great team. Jason Tatum's going to be good. Jaylen Brown. I think even without Kemba Walker, I still think they'll be pretty good for the first half of the season. I know Kemba Walker's out for like a month. Then who else do they got? They signed Tristan Thompson. I really like that move. And if that rumor was real, that they could have got Miles Turner, or flipping whatever their owner or their GM name is. You messed up. But I think the Celtics will have a pretty good season and be number 3. Next, the Miami Heat. I have them at number 4. I mean, I think, I don't think necessarily they get better. Now, again, they're in the front running to possibly get James Harden. But I think, experience is going to be huge for them. Jimmy Butler's going to have a good season. They got Avery Bradley, but they did lose Jay Crowder. I think that was, something they shouldn't have let happen. That messed up. I think that was they shouldn't have done that. They should have got Jay Crowder, brought him back, but they did bring in Avery Bradley, which still is a pretty good replacement, honestly. I think Tyler Hero should have a good season. Bam Adebayo should have a pretty good season. He's up there for defensive player of the year. But I think, it'd be pretty good there. Next, the 5 spot, Philadelphia 76ers. I think they'll have a good season if everybody stays healthy. Joel Embiid stays healthy, and Ben Simmons stays healthy. I think they'll have a pretty good season. They got Steph Curry. They got Danny Green. I think Danny Green should be better than the finals, but they got shooters around Ben Simmons Embiid. Now they could possibly get James Harden. If so, I still think they'll be right here because I think most likely it's going to be a James Harden for Ben Simmons. So I still feel like the 76ers right here at number 5. Next, number 6. The Toronto Raptors. I mean, I do believe they got worse. They lost Marc Gasol and they lost Serge Ibaka. And they did get Aaron Baines, which isn't too bad, but I mean, losing Serge Ibaka, in my opinion, is very, it's going to be costly, and it's going to suck. For them, they did re-sign Fred VanVleet, and as I'm recording this, or just before I started recording this, they did re-sign OG Anunoby, so I do like those 2 moves. You just re-signing guys, get some guys who can be there for pretty, be pretty solid. Next, number 7, the Washington Wizards. No bias at all. I think they'll win. I think it'll be the 7th seed. I think Beal and Russell Westbrook, I think they're going to mesh well. I think, as preseason gets going, I think, and the season starts off, I think we'll be looking pretty good. I can't wait to see what Rui does. I think he's going to have a really good season. Then getting Denny's going to be huge for them. And, if they can play some defense, I honestly think they can be the number 7 spot. Next, the Atlanta Hawks, number 8. They got a lot better this year. Getting Gallinari, drafting on Kongwu, and then also getting what's his name, Bogdanovich. I think those would be great moves defensively. Getting Bobby Portis, Chris Dunn. I really like him as a defensive point guard. So I think all of that right now is looking pretty good for the Atlanta Hawks, and I think they'll be able to make the 8th seed. And my you would say my honorable mentions, I think the Bulls could possibly be in there. And I also believe the Pacers could be in there. But we're just going to have to wait and see. Next, my NBA's finals matchup. Out of all that, I have the Los Angeles Lakers versus the Milwaukee Bucks. Lakers, they could go back-to-back. They got better, a lot better with Harrell and getting Marc Gasol and getting Dennis Schroeder. All of that is going to be really good for them. And then the Milwaukee Bucks, they got better getting Drew Holiday and getting some other pieces there. And it was hard. Honestly, you could have had the Nets there. You could have possibly had the Clippers. at the Western, like, there's so many ways you could have gone. You could even have the Celtics in the finals. So I think it'd be very but with my pick out of these two teams, I have the Milwaukee Bucks winning the NBA Finals. These last few years have been really disappointing, but I think they'll be able to get it done. I think Drew Holiday is going to have a pretty good season, and it's really going to help out Giannis. I think these young guys and these Steph players are going to be pretty solid too. And I think the Milwaukee Bucks will win the NBA's final. Not saying the Lakers can, but I do have the Milwaukee Bucks winning. Next, Rookie of the Year. These are my top 5. Obi Toppin, Deni Avdija, LaMelo Ball, Killian Hayes, and Isaac Okoro. I like what we saw Obi Toppin do in the preseason, but again, their coach is Tom Thibodeau, so he's not the biggest fan of always starting young guys. Deni Avdija from the Wizards had a great preseason. He was projected to go top 4 by a lot of people, but he fell to all the way number 9 to the Washington Wizards. Now, next, LaMelo Ball. He's had an okay preseason. He's had a lot of great passes and assists, but his scoring has been a little lackluster. Next, Killian Hayes. Now, this is one dark horse I have. He looked pretty good in the preseason when he was playing my Wizards. I was looking at him, and he played absolutely amazing. He might be able to get that starting role over there, Chris. I don't think so. But he could possibly become a shooting guard. I don't know. At least for this year. Next, Isaac Okoro. He was balling out in the preseason. He's going to be probably most likely starting this year. So that's obviously going to help him out. But with my Rookie of the Year, I have Deni Avdija from the Washington Wizards winning this. No bias. I just really think he's going to be good. He could be starting this year. Even if he doesn't start, I think he'll be able to get the starting role eventually. And I do believe Deni Avdija is going to win. I mean, he's good at playmaking. He has a good shot. I think everything is going for him. And I think Deni, with Russell Westbrook, Bradley Beal, Troy Brown, Rui Hachimura, I think all of that is really going to help him out. And he will win Rookie of the Year. Next, Defensive Player of the Year. Got Giannis Antetokounmpo. I mean, I don't see necessarily him not winning. I could see AD, I could see Bam, but I think Giannis will win this one. I think he'll play great defense and really help the Bucks get to the NBA Finals and win it. Next, sixth Man of the Year, Spencer Dinwiddie. I think he'll be really good this year for Brooklyn, as they get to the number 2 spot and they get pretty far in the playoffs. Then what? They would be in. What happened there? They would face the Bucks in the Western Conference Final, if I'm not mistaken. That's what I think. So I think the Nets are gonna be pretty good, and I think Spencer Dinwiddie getting that is gonna be huge for them. Now, 6th Man of the Year, runners up. I think what's his name, Montrezl Harrell. I mean, you could possibly say, honestly, I don't know too much, but I think Spencer Dinwiddie will win this one. Next, Most Improved Player of the Year, Christian Wood from the Houston Rockets. I really liked him at the end of the season last year. He was picking things up, and I think with him being with John Wall, possibly James Harden, I think in Boogie, I think everything's going to match well with him. I expect him to maybe get 18 points, possibly 20 points averaging this season. I think he'll get maybe 7 rebounds a game, and I think he'll maybe get like 3 assists, But I think he'll be pretty good this year, and I think he will win Most Improved Player of the Year. Then obviously runners-up is going to be MPJ, Michael Porter Jr. You also could have, probably me, MPJ, obviously. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander this year, and a lot of some other people. But I think it will be Christian Wood. Next, Coach of the Year, Steve Nash. I think, getting the Nets to the 2 seed and, getting to the Western Conference Finals, I think it's going to be a lot, and I think it's really going to help out Steve Nash's, obviously, Brennan, he's a great basketball player when he was playing, but I see it happening. The Brooklyn Nets are going to be a very good team this season without Kevin Durant playing in, 2 years, without Kyrie Irving playing in a few months, without lots of these players playing in a few months. So I will have Steve Nash, Coach of the Year. MVP, LeBron James. I think, he's just going to play lights out this year. He's trying to prove some doubters wrong. He's trying to go back-to-back. He possibly I don't know. But I think LeBron James is going to be a huge impact to his team. And I think he'll be absolutely amazing this year. And it's going to be huge for the Los Angeles Lakers. Runner-ups, Giannis, once again. You could have him going 3 years in a row. Possibly James Harden if he stays with Houston. Then who else could you have at MVP this year? I mean, Kevin Durant possibly, but I will have LeBron James winning this. Next, that's it. That's it. That's it. Thank you guys for watching. Man, I cannot wait until the NBA season. It starts tomorrow. Mark your calendars, even though it's kind of too late. Mark calendars. It's tomorrow. We got Clippers, Lakers. I think we got Golden State and Brooklyn Nets. We got lots of games. Wizards playing Wednesday, playing Philadelphia. Cannot wait. So I cannot wait for the NBA season. I know you guys can't wait for the NBA season. And let's get it going. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys next time. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Peace out.